The following program is a public access production. Comcast is required to provide time on this channel and make it available pursuant to franchise agreements with the communities we serve. Comcast is not affiliated with the following program or the producers of public access programming and is not responsible for the content. The following program does not reflect the opinions of Comcast or its affiliates.
Welcome to Chicago Theater Review. We are at the Mercury Theater, and I just wanted to make a little announcement. What we're going to do for this show is we're going to show you all the clips of all the shows that are playing in Chicago, because I am out of town for the next 3 weeks. So because of that, we decided to tape it early, all the best of what's playing in Chicago right now. We will end up telling you the theater and the dates of those productions, and we're going to do it in order and what Al and I thought were the best shows playing in Chicago. So for the next 28 minutes, I want you to sit back, relax, and watch clips from all the shows that are playing in Chicago. From Chicago Theater Review, I'm Frank, and I'll see you when I get back. I Love Lucy's coming back.
Well, I Love Lucy was here and is back, and now they're doing a lot of different special things. It seems like they're going out to restaurants and putting on part of the show in restaurants. They just did it at over on right next to the Goodman, Petterino's.
Oh, okay.
And I think there was just something in today's email that they're doing it at another place next week. So they're putting on highlights of it to probably attract more business. It's a very cute show. It's a little pricey for what you get. Mm-hmm. It's a very hokey show. If you loved Lucy, I guess you'll love the show.
And I remember when it was here last time, it was here last year, late in the year, and then it had to leave. And I remember people wanted those tickets, and then they were gone. So I think that's why they brought it back. And
yeah, the demand was there, but again, I think they are a little pricey for what they give you. It's you know, the commercials are fun. The in-between stuff is probably more fun than the show itself, and it does bring back a lot of great memories. So people who were big fans and people who loved that show we'll have a good time.
And you know, it's a good musical. It's less than 2 hours long. It wasn't that long.
Yeah, it's about, I think it was about 95 minutes.
Yeah, so it's a fun show to see. So let's see a clip of I Love Lucy. Okay, now we're back, and we have another couple new plays that are new for Chicago, and that is Sunset Boulevard. Andrew Lloyd Webber's big production that he did about 12 years ago that actually came to Chicago, and that was actually the last step that it made before it went bankrupt because of the cost.
Right. The cost was very, very high because of the way they built the sets. The show that's being done now at Drury Lane, Oakbrook, is a phenomenal show. It's a well-cast. I will say that the Norma Desmond is a little younger than she should be, but I moved back to a further seat, and she was perfect.
She's got a great voice.
Oh, my God. People wanted to give her a standing ovation in the middle of a song, and that doesn't happen very often.
Something about Drury Lane, they are just doing one hit after another, and they are doing some excellent work. I love the show completely, and of course everybody knows I love anything Andrew Lloyd Webber does, especially a lot of his old stuff. So it was excellent. We do have a scene of Sunset Boulevard. Remember, this is the show that made Glenn Close. She was already famous as an actress, so this got her Tony as a Broadway star.
Right.
So, so I do recommend Sunset Boulevard. It is playing until April 7th, so you've got a good month and a half to see it. So I do recommend it. Let's see a clip of Sunset Boulevard.
I'm sorry, Mr. Gillis. Goodbye.
I just love Hollywood.
Morning, Joanna.
Where have you been hiding?
How are you doing?
What is my motivation?
Is your Miss Great with sheldrake?
Gotta run, let's have lunch. I'm handing in my second gift. Let's have lunch. This is the biggest deal ever.
Let's pencil Thursday mornings.
Gotta run, let's have lunch. Hi, good morning. Aren't we lucky going to work with you, boy? Thereabouts is paradise. Love is made of Zucor. We should talk. Gotta run, let's have lunch. Gotta run, let's have lunch.
Well, don't blame me. I'm just a writer.
With one look, I can break your heart. With one look, I play every part. I can make your sad heart sing. With one look, you'll know all you need to know. With one smile, I'm the girl next door. All the love that you've hungered for. When I speak, it's with my soul. I can play any role. No words can tell the stories my eyes tell. Watch me when I frown. You can't write that down. You know I'm right. It's there in black and white. When I look your way, you hear what I say. Yes, with one look, I put words to shame. Just one look sets the screen aflame. Silent music starts to play. One tear in my eye makes the whole cry. With one look, they'll forgive the past. They'll rejoice I've returned at last to my people in the dark. Still out there in the dark. Silent music starts to play. With one look, you know all you need to know. With one look, I'll ignite a blaze. I'll return to my glory days. They'll say Norma's back at last. This time I'm staying for good. I'll be back where I was born to be. With one look, I'll be me.
And now we have another play, and this is in Skokie at Northlight, and it's called The Whipping Man. And this takes place during the Civil War, right?
Right. This is just at the end of the Civil War, right after the Confederates have given up and it's all over. It's a very unusual story, though, because it ties a lot of things together. You've got a Jewish Confederate soldier, an Orthodox Jewish Confederate soldier, who comes home and is wounded, and he's in bad shape, and he comes home to his two slaves who have just been freed as part of this. This has been the freedom of the slaves, and it happens to be Passover. So Passover Seder has to happen. They have nothing. The house has been destroyed, and people have ransacked it, and there's very little left. One of the guys is a great thief, and he goes out and steals things. And then it's also when Lincoln gets shot. So there's a lot of history things happening, and it's unusual that they could all fit together. And it's about the slaves being freed. Also what Passover is. Passover is the exodus of the slaves. So it kind of ties that part together. Interesting story, very dark, and there's not many laughs in it, but it is a wonderful production.
Yeah, so this is, now this, has this been done before?
I've never seen it before.
And so I thought this was kind of unusual when I heard about it. I was reading up, when I first read about it, saying an Orthodox Jew in the Civil War?
Right, and there were, and they had slaves. And people said, why would they? Religious beliefs. Well, they wanted to assimilate. They wanted to be part of the community. So if you're going to be in the community, everybody else has slaves, you'll stand out if you don't. So you might as well have them.
Where'd you get this?
Found it.
Stole it.
Found it, stole it. What's the difference? Of course, if you have an objection, I can always. Guess you wouldn't be interested in these either.
You found those too?
These I discovered.
You best be careful you don't discover yourself staring down the business end of a shotgun.
All these houses are deserted.
This one ain't.
Most of them are. It's like they unlocked the doors of a store and said, welcome.
Yeah, but folks will be coming back to these houses eventually. A couple of eggs ain't nobody gonna miss, but them duds you got on.
You survive your way, I'll survive mine.
Boy, it ain't barely even new.
I know, I do believe I'm behind schedule. How's Prince Caleb?
He's been running a fever this morning. I'm hoping it'll break soon. He lost a lot of blood.
I don't want to see anything like that ever again.
Yeah, you'd be a lucky man if you don't. We're gonna have to keep an eye on him the next few days. You better save some of that whiskey for him once he wakes up.
Don't you worry about the whiskey. I guarantee we won't run out.
So that's the Whipping
Man.
The Whipping Man. That's at Northlight Theater in Skokie. From there, we're going to go to, I'm going to talk about two operas that are playing in Chicago right now. One is La Boheme, and that's at the Lyric Opera. It's a brand new production. It's a wonderful cast. For those of you that are not opera fanatics, this is the one that will turn your life around and make you an opera lover. It has the best music of Puccini, so I highly recommend it. We're actually going to show a scene of La Boheme. Okay, so that's the clip of La Boheme. One more thing I do recommend for this season at the Lyric is Rigoletto. It's another fantastic opera. It just opened this week. There's only 8 performances, so you got to see this. So if you're going to see any operas, you got to see Rigoletto and La Boheme, and we will show you clips of both. Book of Mormons.
Book of Mormon is one of the funniest things I have ever seen, offending almost everybody equally. But it's just a fun show. You know, one of the things about theater is escapism and being able to just go and laugh. And if you can go somewhere for 2 hours and laugh and forget about all the stress and like the snowstorms and things that are happening in business and just have that couple hours of just laughing, and the Book of Mormon does it.
I admit, I was slightly offended, but I get offended very easily. But it's a funny show.
Oh, it is.
And, of course, it's the same creators of South Park. And they have done a great job. There's some great songs that stick in your mind, and you actually are humming them on the way out. it's so realistic, and they offend. Luckily, they offend everybody equally.
Right.
So you don't.
Right. And when you hear a doorbell ring, you just want those guys to be there.
Yes, you just. So I enjoyed it. I know you really loved it.
I did.
I know tickets are expensive, and I know people just. One of the doctors I work with just bought 5 tickets at $175 a piece.
Actually, I think you can pay as much as $180 or $190, but there also are some tickets that are available every day in like a raffle. So people who work downtown or live downtown, you can go the day of the show and you could put your name in. And if you're there at 6 o'clock, you could win $25 tickets, and they're decent seats. And I think there's 20 or 25 every day. There also are some tickets available periodically that are a little higher, not on the main floor, so you can pay $108, or you can in the balcony in the mezzanine section, and it's a small theater.
And I had some friends that just bought tickets for June, and because they just opened up that block for the summer, they were actually able to get a decent price. They had a special through Visa and American Express.
Right.
So you can, if you're willing to wait, see this show at a reasonable price.
Right.
And get to enjoy it, because otherwise you're talking a fortune if you're taking a family.
Well, it's a little more in New York. I think it was $400 in New York per ticket. So we are a bargain.
So that is the Book of Mormons. We do recommend it. I personally would say if you got young kids, keep them at home. This is not the show for them.
No, it's
save your money. But what we're going to do is we're going to show you a clip of the Book of Mormon. So let's see that clip.
Turn around! We have an intruder. He just walked right into camp. I believe that Satan has a hold of you. I believe that the Lord God has sent me here. And I believe that in 1978 God changed his mind about black people. Black people, you can be a Mormon. A Mormon who just believes. What the this? This is the moment I was born to do. And I feel so incredible to be sharing my faith with you. The scriptures say that if you ask in faith, if you ask God himself, you'll know. But you must ask him without any doubt, and let your spirit grow. I believe that God was on a planet called Roma. I believe that Jesus has his own planet as well. And I believe that the Garden of Eden was in Jackson County, Missouri. Believe the Lord will reveal it, and you'll know it's all true. You'll just feel it. You'll be a Mormon, and by gosh, a Mormon just believe. A Mormon just believe. I
And that's basically it for what we have. And what we're going to do now is show you a bunch of plays that are coming to Chicago. Because right now there's a little over 42 plays that are coming to Chicago, big name plays. So I do have clips for most of those. So we're going to play that. On our next show, what we're going to do is we're going to talk to 2 great guys from this theater that we're actually filming at today. So we'll see them in our next production. So, Al, thanks for being on.
My pleasure.
And Gail was going to be here, but she got stuck in a snowstorm. So from Chicago Theater Review, I'm Frank and Al, and we'll see you at the theater.
One of the most haunting musicals ever is headed back to Broadway. But first, it's coming here. Jekyll and Hyde, the pre-Broadway engagement starring Constantine Maroulis and Deborah Cox. No musical has ever held you like this. Jekyll and Hyde.
Olden days, a glimpse of stocking was looked on as something shocking, but now God knows anything goes. Good authors too, who once knew better words, now only used 4-letter words, writing prose. Anything goes. The
true story that inspired it. Catch Me If You Can is the high-flying new Broadway musical about Frank W. Abagnale Jr., a teenager who runs away from home in search of the glamorous life. New York Magazine calls it a spectacular spectacular that takes you through the night with flying colors. Catch Me If You Can, the new Broadway musical. Book your seats today.
Around noon, a coworker comes into my office.
Tom, don't you live in Littleton?
Yes?
Do you have kids at Columbine High School?
Yes, my son Daniel goes there. What's this all about?
I think you should come with me.
We go into a conference room and there's about 10 or 20 people just watching the TV. On the news, I see helicopters, police surrounding the building, reporters saying things like shots were fired. You okay, Tom? I appreciated people asking me, but Daniel was a good kid. How could he get involved in a shooting? Yeah, I think I'm going to head out to this conference.
Tom, go to the conference later.
Maybe you should call home.
I just wasn't that concerned. Even if there was a shooting, there were 2,000 kids in that school. What were the chances?
So I'm at the shop, Mom. My wife calls. And I'm thinking it's probably some kid got mad at another kid, took a gun out and shot at him. So I jump in my pickup, turn on the radio, and the announcer's just sobbing, saying that up to 30 kids have been shot and some killed. And I immediately start doing the math. 1,800 kids. I have Rachel and Craig in there. What are the chances, right?
I learned from academy training to play what if, because on the drive there, dispatch is saying this incomprehensible stuff, like bombs being exploded, grenades. My adrenaline's going crazy, and I'm thinking, what if there's dead people? What if there's an active shooter? Because before Columbine, Colorado had never had a major school shooting. When I get to the school, I see kids running towards me, and it's just... whatever they saw in there, we couldn't stop. You couldn't take it back. No rewind, no redo.
My shop is rather hard to find, miss. Mrs.?
Hewlett.
I can't imagine that you simply stumbled upon it by chance. This part in Yokohama? Well, it's not a part of the city that ladies like yourself frequent.
And what kind of lady do you take me to be?
A rich American lady. A well-intentioned do-gooder.
I'm neither well-intentioned, nor do I think I do much good.
Oh, I doubt that. I've seen your type before. You come to Yokohama to teach the natives English, to spread the word of the Lord.
People are not always what they seem, Mr. Vasari.
I'm not sure I agree with you, man. In my experience, people are often exactly what they seem. It's very disappointing.
You take a lot of pictures of locals, do you?
But that is all my clients seem to want these days. Rickshaw drivers and geisha girls. No need to avert your gaze. Go ahead and stare all you want. He doesn't mind.
Andy, who's this coming? I don't know. Never seen him before. Well, I tell you what. You like to talk so much, you can talk to him. We're tired, you know, so if you want to catch some fish, you can go out, put down a net. I think we should go back out. You would? Tell you what, you and your newfound friend here, you guys want to go out, you go right ahead. I'm tired. I'm going home. Up here. I think we should go back out and cast again. Okay. All right. We're with Jesus. It's a new group we're in.
Yeah, it's a gathering.
Well, it's a new kind of club.
Yeah.
No, it's not a club. Are we out on dying here?
Yeah. We're with Jesus, and we're with Jesus.
Why would they wait to bring this out?
Exactly. I mean, this is a lot better than the stuff they had when they ran out.
The Black Ensemble Theater presents From Doo-Wop to Hip Hop. A musical journey that is black and white, young and old, and everything in between. At the Black Ensemble Theater, 4450 North Clark Street. Call 773-769-4451 to see the most exciting musical of the year, from doo-wop